I hope every one of you is safe and healthy in these very difficult and trying circumstances, and also practicing the necessary safeguards that need to be practiced and advocated by your health authorities or by your institution. I think it is a very good morning to those who have joined from the United States, particularly Ajay, Kela. I think you're joining from the West Coast. So thank you so much for joining at this very early hour. And I'm sure this is going to be a very, very important and constructive day, not only for Atal Innovation Mission, but for the entire initiative that we are trying to take forward. As all of you are aware, the Atal Innovation Mission has been focusing on how do you create a culture of innovation across the country, and how do you create an ecosystem of entrepreneurship that's going to spur and leverage the enormous demographic dividend that India has and enjoys. Indeed, our country is 1.3 billion people with more than 150 million young students entering into the workplace over the next 5 to 10 years. And the Honorable Prime Minister very, very eloquently expressed how and why it is necessary for an India, an Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India that not only serves the interests of the country, but the interests of the world. And towards this end, the Atal Innovation Mission has been formed in order to promote and create an ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship. It has done this through multiple initiatives, starting at a school level where we have launched thousands of Atal Tinkering Labs to create a problem-solving, innovative mindset in our young students in schools, followed by setting up world-class incubators in universities and institutions and in the industry so that they can foster world-class startups, thousands of world-class startups. We have also launched what are known as Atal Community Innovation Centers, which are centers for ensuring that the benefits of innovation are reaching across to the last mile in our country. We are all, after all, a country with 715 districts, out of which 115 are aspirational districts. We have more than 4,000 towns. We have 600,000 villages. So if the benefits of innovation don't reach across to the people in the rural India, coastal districts, hilly districts, we would not have done justice to the movement of innovation and entrepreneurship. So we have launched several Atal Community Innovation Centers, which become the recipients and maybe even the source of many new innovations that are needed at a community level to be able to bring economic wealth as well as societal good for the communities there. And then we have launched Atal New India Challenges, which are to create products and services which would have socio-economic impact at a national level. And we work on these challenges with various ministries so that these ministries and industry help us in being able to identify what are the challenges that are relevant for our country and which need immediate solutions. For example, in the current COVID-19 crisis, many of the solutions required for preventive, assistive, and curative solutions for COVID-19 surfaced to the top through a coordinated search led by Atal Innovation Mission and many other ministries, where the startup industry had responded beautifully and had created a number of innovations. And finally, we are going to be launching what is known as Atal New India Challenges for the MSME community. And this is going to be launched soon. And this is going to be promoting innovations in the MSME industry. So as you can all gather, there is a tremendous importance being given to not only the innovative spirit and the entrepreneurial spirit that can be fostered through all of these initiatives, but also to create world-class innovation. And we need world-class startups. And the incubators, Atal incubators, are a very important part. We have launched we have selected over 102 possible institutions for setting up world-class incubators. 70 or close to 70 of them are already operational, with more than 1,500 startups operational, out of which 547 of them are women-led startups, which is also a very important part because it is ensuring inclusivity of the women, and we would desire that actually we go up to at least 50% of our entrepreneurs and startups to be women. Now, in addition to that, what we are ensuring is that these incubators are spread across the country. So they are spread across over 23 states. We are ensuring that it is not just tier 1 cities which benefit from these incubators, but also the tier 2, tier 3, and rural India. because that is very important. And finally, we are also ensuring diversity of areas and focus of the incubators, which means we want, because India has many verticals, as the Honorable Prime Minister said in his Atmanirbhar Bharat pillars, the pillar of demand, which is the pillar in which we have 1.3 billion people. We have needs in agriculture, biotech, healthcare, affordable housing, clean drinking water, sanitation, waste management, civil engineering, space development, defense, and so on. So what we are doing is we are encouraging incubators which will foster startups in specific areas and which will leverage the demographic talent as well as the industry presence, industrial clusters which are where they are located. Now, all of this can only succeed when we come together. Industry, academia, governmental organizations, and non governmental organizations come together in order to make it happen. And therefore, we are delighted to have today Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Wadhwani Foundation voluntarily partnering with Atal Innovation Mission in order to create a robust capacity building program in order that our incubator ecosystem is one of the most robust ecosystems in the world. We, after all, want, like I said, world class incubators with world class startups. And that can only happen when the best practices across the world are being shared, a training program, a methodology for being able to create world class incubators, attract the best startups, the ability to retain them, to train them, and to support them during the various stages of their life cycle, the various valleys of death that potentially startups encounter. How do you overcome those valleys of death? How do you ensure that the right approach is taken? And how do you ensure that the right mentoring network comes into focus so that these startups succeed? Atal Innovation Mission has, right from its inception, believed in a very strong partnership with the private sector, with the non-governmental organizations, with foundations which can create impact and which are committed to this cause of innovation, entrepreneurship, skill development, and societal good. And therefore, it pleases me tremendously that today is a very eventful day, a very important day, where we are bringing Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, who have been committed to the cause, many causes in India, not just the incubation or the innovation movement, but in many other causes across the country, to be able to bring help, do societal good, as well as engineer the economic growth of our country. Similarly, the Wadhwani Foundation has been engaged for several years in India, not only in skill development, but also working with technical institutes and many other parts of the country, so that you are able to create and promote an ecosystem of vocational training, skill development, innovation, entrepreneurship. And they have also recently launched accelerators as well as artificial intelligence labs, which are going to play a very crucial role in the years ahead. So with this, we are launching today, and the launch will be done by Sri Amitabh Khan, CEO of NITI Aayog. We'll be launching a program called iCrest. iCrest stands for Incubation Capacity Development, for creating a robust ecosystem for startups to thrive and to be very vibrant and to succeed. Now, this is I'm not going to go into the details of the program. I think both Ishita as well as Dan are going to be speaking on this in greater detail. But I think the importance of this program, not only from an incubator point of view, but also from a startup point of view, from the mentors of change. We have allocated recently more than 100 mentors of change, especially to help our startups. They are experts in various fields. They are experts in financial support, IT systems. They are generalists. They are business planning and strategy experts and specialists. So we have brought all of this together, and they are all from the private sector or in research institutions or institutions of repute, where they have been there, done that, and they would like to bring their capability to the fore in order to be able to deliver and help our startups succeed. So it is wonderful that all of you have joined today for this particular initiative. It's a very important initiative. I would say this is a landmark initiative in the history of the country, where a clear, well-defined program of collaborating together by the government, from academia, from the universities, from the foundations, Bill and Melinda Gates, as well as Wadhwani Foundation, bringing their expertise, their know-how, their commitment to this cause. This is a wonderful new beginning, which I'm sure is going to see tremendous fruits and yield tremendous dividends in the years to come. And it will make our incubators truly world-class, producing world-class startups. So with that, we'd like to play a little video from Dr. Romesh Wadhwani, the founder of Wadhwani Foundation, who has been instrumental in building strong relationships, not only with the Indian government, but with many institutes in the country, and who has been the architect of many activities of Wadhwani Foundation in our country and across the world. So, Ishita, can you kindly play the video from Dr. Ramesh Wadhwani?
Yes. It is taking some time to get started. It's a fairly heavy file.
Sure, sure. So while you're getting it ready, I just want to add that we have launched this program in spite of the COVID-19 crisis, and while the program was initially planned to be launched as physical training, as a combination of physical and online training at various incubator locations and with the startups, we did not pause because of COVID-19. And I want to congratulate the entire team for having immediately pivoted and created a very intense interactive online program, as a result of which what you're seeing today is going to be a blend of initial online training and online interaction, followed by the physical visits and hand-holding and support that this program will require over the next 6 to 9 months.
Hello, everyone. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. After coming to the US and getting my master's and PhD at Carnegie Mellon University, I became an entrepreneur right out of college. And over the last 40 years, I have actually built 40 companies which have been successful. An entrepreneur is like a magician. An entrepreneur really creates value out of thin air. When you think about it, before the entrepreneur, there was no business, there were no products, there were no customers, there were no jobs. But with the entrepreneur, with just the power of an idea, the business gets started, products and services get created, customers sign up, employees get hired, and value is created for everyone. So becoming an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. It requires a combination of imagination, passion, preparation, risk-taking, and resilience. We know that entrepreneurs go through challenges, they need to work through them, so resilience is particularly important. It requires the entrepreneur to understand the market, the competition, the customer, to define products and services that meet precise customer requirements, to deliver new value to customers, hire great talent, and then follow a process of continuous innovation and everyday brilliant execution. Because these are difficult things to do, for entrepreneurial success, entrepreneurs need special expert guidance and tailored support to help them succeed. Venture Fast Track, or VFT, which is a Wadhwani Foundation initiative, was designed to provide entrepreneurs exactly this kind of support with a technology-enabled, on-demand, personalized approach intended for delivery in partnership with incubators to complement the incubator manager's own offerings to improve the outcomes of startups. So Wadhwani Foundation is delighted to partner with the AI Network, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to enable world-class startups at scale by providing them with the training and expert support and knowledge of the world's best practices in entrepreneurship and giving them the tools and other capabilities that they need to succeed through our VFT offering. This partnership is also an outstanding example of how two partners, the Gates Foundation and the Wadhwani Foundation, can work together with NITI, Aayog, and other public entities to accelerate large-scale growth of innovative startups that will help make India the global leader in entrepreneurship. Of course, it's very important that the program is completely aligned with our vision of accelerating job creation in India and other emerging economies through entrepreneurship and other job creation initiatives. Thank you. We are looking forward to this partnership.
That was a wonderful message from one of the best known entrepreneurs across the world, Dr. Romesh Wadhwani. And I want to thank Dr. Wadhwani for taking the time to be able to record his message. I know that he is a very, very busy person and also had some other engagements. Otherwise, he himself would have been personally present today. I'd like to now invite Hari Menon from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. You know, the day I met Hari Menon regarding this particular initiative, he was 200% enthusiastic of getting into it and starting to support this initiative of building an incubation program, an iCrest program for the Atal incubators. And I have to say that it has been a delight for our team to work with his and Wadhwani Foundation. They immediately swung into action. In a very short period of time, we came to what we need to do in a systematic manner to be able to launch this program and ensure also the success of the program. Hari Menon needs no introduction. He is the face of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in India. They are doing tremendous amount of work for the benefits of our country in various areas, including healthcare, education, aspirational districts, and so on. He's almost, I mean, I sometimes have wondered whether he works in NITI Aayog rather than in Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation because he's here so often. So Hari Menon, on to you. Please share your thoughts today on this very important occasion.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Ramanan, and thanks for the very kind words. I think between what you said and I think the reasons why we were excited to have an opportunity to partner with AIM and NITI Aayog are self-evident. I think while AIM's approach and stated mission itself is to create an ecosystem of innovation, I think AIM itself is an innovative example of the kinds of partnerships that it will take for a country like India to fully maximize our innovation potential, which is something that's important not just for the growth and development of India, but for the world itself. And for us as a foundation, as Mr. Ramanan mentioned, India is our most sizable country program outside of the US, which is, of course, the foundation's home country. India has been a long-standing partner country for us, dating back to when we started off with one single program focused on HIV/AIDS back in 2003. Since then, we've now grown to essentially have pretty much every element of the foundation's strategy have some component in India. And for us, the reason India has grown as a partner country is really because when we engage in India, the intent is to learn from India to help solve global problems. And for the foundation, our guiding vision is really that all lives have equal value. And we try to work on the issues that provide the most significant barriers to people exercising that equity of opportunity that critical to maximize the potential of every human being. India, with its diversity, heterogeneity, offers a really interesting, I would say, a lab, but on very massive scale for the power of innovation and what is possible if you unlock opportunities for different ways. So for us, the reason AIM is such a critical partnership is because we feel solving the problems that we work on, which are really intractable solutions, intractable problems that have existed for several decades and centuries. How to improve the productivity and incomes of smallholder farmers, or how to eradicate disease on a large scale, how to get rid of stunting and undernutrition so that human potential human development can actually be fully realized, or how an important point Mr. Ramanan mentioned, how can the potential of women and girls be fully realized? All of these are important structural challenges that we are all trying to address. I think it's fair to say that there are no universal solutions to any of these. The only way you get to solutions and you get them on scale is if there is an ecosystem of innovators willing to engage on coming up with different solutions that meet the needs of different contexts where we engage. So for us, the promise of a platform like AIM is really that it aims to create that ecosystem of innovators who we hope will take on a lot of these very critical fundamental challenges that hold back the potential of society, and that have the potential to help India leapfrog into the future. So we are very proud to have this opportunity. And of course the Wadhwani Foundation, who've been critical partners, and it's really the engagement with them that gave us the courage to take this on. We feel that the current environment in India, where there are hundreds of emerging incubators and accelerators that are seeking to promote and support the kinds of enterprises that will help drive growth, create jobs, and provide economic opportunity to India's population of working age adults is super critical, and the timing of this is very opportune. So for us, we also feel very excited by the fact that many of the incubators in this program are actually embedded in India's universities and institutes of learning, because the potential to create or seed that entrepreneurial mindset in the in people in the youth at an early formative age is one that has the potential to transform the way India approaches free enterprise and innovation. And to us, the fact that the government of India through NITI Aayog has set up this platform that enables global partners like us, the Wadhwani Foundation, to come together to contribute to a government-led initiative that essentially is seeking to unlock the potential of India's citizens and the private sector to grow and contribute to national growth and development, makes this, I would say, one of the most exciting programs and partnerships in our portfolio in India as well as globally. We look forward to working very closely with the NITI Aayog and with the Wadhwani Foundation to contribute to the success of this initiative. And I'll close with the final point that while we do recognize that creating enterprise, seeding innovation is critical and important, it is not sufficient to the goals that we have. We do need to think of ways to scale these ideas that emerge from all the innovative minds and institutions that are part of this network, And it's only in that scaling that the potential for human transformation and societal growth can actually be unlocked. And that's an area where we hope to continue working with the NITI Aayog and with the AIM and Wadhwani Foundation and all other members of this network to brainstorm and come up with the ideas that will help India leapfrog, but then in learning from India also help contribute to growth and development in other societies across the country. I do want to call out Mr. Ramanan's leadership in particular because I think he has been the epitome of a true partner in that we've been able to move this partnership relatively rapidly, but as with all partnerships, we had teething pains here and there, but he was always available to help solve any issues that we ran into very rapidly, and his team have been extremely supportive. People like Ishita, Mudit, Anish, and Mudit has of course moved on to other things, but I think being able to work with the NITI Aayog on this has been one of the most productive partnerships that we've experienced over the last year. And last but not least, I would like to reiterate again the very critical role that the Wadhwani Foundation have played, and it's only the engagement with them that gave us the confidence to take on this ambitious endeavor. And Ajay, Dan, and others on the Wadhwani Foundation team have been bulwarks of support, and I think we stand to learn a lot from their deep experience and expertise in creating innovation ecosystems around the world. So with that, thank you very much, and all the very best to everyone who's going to be part of the iCrest initiative and will be part of the growing AIM family over the years. I think there's a lot that your contributions will do to help drive growth and innovation in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari, for that perspective. Indeed, it is global collaborations like these with world-class institutions like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Wadhwani Foundation that will give initiatives from AIM the edge to actually make an impact. And that is what we have been looking for. We are very proud about our relationship with you as well as with the Wadhwani Foundation and all our other partners who are engaged and stakeholders. As our CEO Amitabh Kant often says, a solution for India for 1.3 billion people is actually a solution for the rest of the world, 7 billion plus people in the planet. And I think that epitomizes what we are trying to do. We are trying to address and create solutions for our country, which can be replicated and scaled up with the help of global partners across the world. And I'm sure we will have that impact in the days to come. Now, you have always been the driver of the vision of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in India, but there are some people on the ground who actually make it happen, and that is Mr. Anjani Bansal, who has worked tirelessly along with our team, Ishita Agarwal and the rest of the team, to be able to put together and stitch together the details and contours of this relationship. So I would like Mr. Anjani Bansal to speak a few words on this occasion.
Thank you, Mr. Ramanan. I'm really glad that we have reached this juncture. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize that it's been an incredible team effort, as you rightly pointed out, to get this partnership off the ground. I really appreciate your guidance throughout and the leadership from Ishita and Mudit, along with other AIM team members, Iksha and Anish. Also, I would like to say that working with Dan, Gayatri, and Meher from the Wadhwani Foundation has been a pleasure. They have been great partners. I'm personally delighted to have the opportunity to work with such an experienced and talented group of people. One of the things that I would say, I definitely echo everything Hari said. But one of the things that I'm really excited about, in addition, is the reach of this program. While in India we have experienced a very rapid growth in the startup ecosystem, there is still a lot of concentration in few cities. But this program takes it to all corners of the country. I mean, through this program, I have talked to incubators and startups in the Northeast region, in Assam, in Manipur. And it's incredible to see the talent and opportunity that exists in those regions. And I hope that this program will play a critical role in creating that entrepreneurial ecosystem, which forms the bedrock for driving domestic innovation and creating job opportunities in the new age economy. I see a great opportunity to achieve a far-reaching impact through innovation in several sectors. You know, like you rightly pointed out, whether it's agriculture, healthcare, financial services, there is so much innovation and new ideas that are taking shape, and hopefully this program will help nurture those ideas not only for the benefit of India but also for global applications. So I look forward to working with Atal Innovation Mission, Wadhwani Foundation, and all the incubators and startups to deliver the ambitious goals of this program. And thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjani, and I really have to appreciate all the effort that you and your team have put. We had to talk at some odd hours, but you were always very responsive, and I greatly appreciate that. And we have been able to quickly come together with a fairly detailed program, I would say, you know, something that has not been conceived before, and I'm sure this will have an impact not only on the AIM incubators, but we have actually, according to our relationship, extended it for the beneficiaries of AIM in the entire AIM ecosystem, which would include Atal Community Innovation Centers and the Atal New India Challenge winners and so on. So it's a very comprehensive relationship that we have stitched together. I am sure the beneficiaries will greatly benefit. I just want to share, and probably you have, this is the agreement that we have signed along with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Wadhwani Foundation. So here is the agreement, just for those of you who are, you know,
Yeah.
a big
Holding up
hand
my copy as well.
to the entire team for putting this together. So a big hand to all the people who have enabled this to happen. So now with this, as Hari Menon mentioned and Anjali mentioned, you know, all of this would not have been possible without the proactive collaboration of Ajay, Kela and his team from Wadhwani Foundation. I'm just for a matter of, as a matter of fact, Ajay and I go back a long way. We have been classmates in IIT Bombay when we studied together in the same year, and it is wonderful for me to be able to once again interact with him through the Wadhwani Foundation, not only on this initiative but on many other initiatives that we have been talking about together. So, Ajay, I would like you to share your thoughts on how important you feel this program is, and the way forward from your perspective. And it is fantastic that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation speedily selected Wadhwani Foundation to be a partner in this particular initiative, which was very, very good for us too, because you bring this tremendous practical experience and exposure to the startup world and the entrepreneurial world led by Romesh Wadhwani himself. So Ajay, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Ramanan. Just want to make sure, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I hope all of you are doing well in this COVID times. California is an example that started very well in early March, but now it has become the hotspot of COVID-19. Unfortunately, we let it loose and the number of cases are increasing. But just today, actually, the last county, which is where I live, has also come into the red zone. So we are all back to being locked down. Anyway, getting back to this program here. So I want to talk about three things. So one is the mission of the foundation and how this program in partnership with AIM and with the Gates Foundation fits in. Second is all about all the solutions and products that we are building to help this community that is on the call today, the community of startups, the community of mentors, and the most important one, the community of incubator managers. And then third, of course, is this wouldn't have been possible without the AIM partnership and Gates partnership. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. So from the foundation perspective, our primary mission is high value job creation. And when we say high value, for us, high value means a job that can support a family of four. That's how we translate to the definition of high value. And the whole idea is what we want to do is empower every family in India with at least one person with a high value job. So then they can buy healthcare, they can buy education. You not only transform the family, you transform generations to come. So, we are a non-profit. We are trying to do social good around the world. And it's not about every time you're hungry, you raise your hand, we feed you a fish. We would rather teach you to fish so that you can support yourself and then you pass on that expertise to your family so generations are taken care of. So with that as a context, the question arises, who creates jobs? So large companies typically don't create jobs. Large companies grow 15, 20%, and most of that growth they try to achieve through productivity increases. They would rather grow 15% and cut employee base by 5%. So globally, 70% of all new jobs that are created by startups and small businesses. And that's how this initiative comes into play. So the foundation has been involved for more than a decade now through 5 initiatives: an initiative to support startups, not only to create entrepreneurs, but also to support them, initiative to support as well as various innovation programs that we've been working with NITI Aayog and other government ministries. And last but not the least, 2 years ago, we inaugurated the Wadhwani Institute for Social Good, AI Institute for Social Good. Prime Minister Modi was kind enough to inaugurate that institute. So coming to this partnership, so one of the initiatives, as I talked about, is around creating entrepreneurs and supporting entrepreneurs. And our CREATE program is the NEN program where we work with hundreds of colleges, not only in India, but 20 countries around the world to create entrepreneurs. Just about 2 years ago, we also started to support entrepreneurs through our venture fast track program, which is called VFT. So let's back up a little bit. As almost all of you pointed out, Romesh said it, Ramanan said it, Hari said it, Anjali said it, that the journey of an entrepreneur is a very, very tough journey. And for all of us, the entrepreneur is our customer. The failure rate in India for the entrepreneur is close to 90%. Even in Silicon Valley, funded companies with a very rich ecosystem to support them, the failure rate is 75%. So what entrepreneurs need is, besides, the grit, the determination, the unlimited optimism that they come with, they also need personalized, on-demand support when they need it. And that is what we have built. We have built a technology solution where we provide them both a structured program that gets them all to a certain foundation level. But beyond that, what they need is very strong, when they need it, in their pocket, customized help. And for that, we are in the process of building a digital solution, a mobile solution. Think of it as everything an entrepreneur needs in his pocket, that captures the journey of an entrepreneur, that captures what the entrepreneur needs, understands the entrepreneur, and builds the AI capabilities to connect them to the right knowledge resources or connect them to the right experts, such as the mentors. So while this is our customer, the incubator manager's job is almost 20 times as difficult because they are trying to support in a year 15, 20, 30 of these guys. So if one job is difficult, supporting 20 of them is, a lot more difficult. And it's important for us to be able to support them as well. So the program, the second part of the VFT program is all about hand-holding, supporting, nurturing incubator managers. And that's the program where a lot of the AIM incubators are going through right now in the digital version. We typically used to do it face-to-face in a 5-day program. Now we've translated into a digital program because of COVID. So all I want to deliver here is a message that, we understand and we know that your jobs are very difficult, but we are there to help you support it. We need your help into guiding us to building the right solutions, right digital solutions, so that we can make your job easier. And last but not the least, we are absolutely delighted to have AIM, Ramanan, Ishita, Mudit was there in the early days, who are phenomenal partners, who, working, I have now worked with the government many years. You get all sorts of people, but here is a team that is so dedicated and focused on delivering goods to the beneficiaries that they are after. So it's a pleasure to have worked with them. And then, of course, the Gates Foundation, we are delighted to partner with them. They, as Hari pointed out, for them, India is, India, if you solve the problems in India, you basically are solving the problems globally. And while their focus has been in healthcare, they have venturing out into education, they are venturing out into now supporting entrepreneurs and solving the problem of job creation and economic growth for the country. Uh, uh, Despite having a large agenda and a large um, workload from an India perspective based on number of initiatives, both Anjani and Hari have been available to us on demand. So really appreciate that support we are getting from them. So thank you very much, all of you, and good luck to all of you. And please feel free to reach out to any of us. We are here to guide you, help you, as just like you are helping us in our mission, in our journey. Thank you. Thank you, Ramanan.
Thank you, Ajay, for those very insightful comments about an entrepreneur's journey and how difficult it is, and how the entrepreneur needs to be supported at various times, how they need to be encouraged, and how we need to be mentored into making sure that the problems that they face at different points in time in their startup cycle get addressed very effectively. And I think this program, which brings some of the best practices, global best practices in incubation management, in startup management, and in being able to connect to various stakeholders in the system. So it is not just a startup success and incubator success is not defined by just what they do, but who they connect and who they enable connections to. And I think you also have a great mentorship management program integrated into your training methodology here, and you are having platforms for enabling mentor management. So I think all of that will become very, very relevant and very useful when we look at what we need to do to make these startups successful and to make the incubators very successful. Now, I want to call upon Daniel Kranzler. Dan has been the architect of many of the technology elements, as well as the teaching methodology and the content that is being created in order for us, all the incubator managers, to be able to benefit from. And he and his team, along with Ishita, have actually stitched in great detail how this program should evolve, what exactly should be addressed, how do we start with the incubation management teams first, how do we also ensure that we are monitoring and handholding them over a period of time? And then how do we go on to the startups to make sure that their problems and their methodologies are refined in order to achieve success? So, Dan, tell us a little bit of yourself in your journey to where you are today, and something about what this program is all about in some more detail than what we have been able to cover.
Ramanan, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be a partner with this esteemed, capable, experienced group. I want to talk a little bit about the details of the program, but before I even start, I want to just say to people that this announcement, this program, and this team are exactly the model that we look for building great, powerful entrepreneurial ecosystems. You have a group of very experienced people who've been there and done that. They are passionate about what they do. They listen carefully. They listen to the customer and adjust to what they're doing. And I recognize, having worked now for about 47 years in this field, in investment and in incubation and so on, that the journey is really, really, really hard. Romesh started off by talking about the fact that an entrepreneur is kind of a magician who creates things out of thin air. And that's very true. A lot of what happens in the successful incubated startups seems like magic. It's art. And sometimes people say, well, how do you bottle art? Well, you do that by breaking the art down into science. And that's really what we've done in creating the Venture Fast Track program in partnership with the AIM team. And I can't tell you how much fun it's been. It's not always been easy, but that's a good thing in entrepreneurship. Working with the AIM team, the team from Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and of course the team at the Wadhwani Foundation, in figuring out what's really needed that makes sense now on the ground. The program could have been another typical training of, just there's a whole bunch of people who train incubators and train entrepreneurs. What the AIM team was looking for was absolutely global, leading edge best practice that really would propel the incubators in our program right to the forefront of anything that is working anywhere in the world. What's exciting is that the program is really developed by veteran entrepreneurs. It is, if you keep going that slide, super. It's crystallizing literally decades of experience all around the world. We have worked directly with over 200 incubators around the world, some in Silicon Valley, but many outside of Silicon Valley, and in Europe and South America and Africa and Asia, and particularly India, where I've had the great honor of being a honored guest for the last 40 years. And we've built a program very much focused on India, and very much focused not just on the top high technology incubators, but really in incubation, whether it's in tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3 cities, in all different areas. The details of the program really are around 4 elements that we build and support, with hundreds of sub-elements. The first is building a global best practice process and delivering it to the incubators in the system. And I must say, we're in the middle of the first group of 20 incubators working together, and it's very much a collaborative process. There's some really talented, very experienced incubator managers and mentors who are sharing their insights with all of us, and we're collectively building this knowledge base that's going to really be powerful. We then take that and provide this extensive startup skills curriculum, toolkits, and resources. So more than just generalized training, but really specific. Here's what we need. Here's how you do an assessment. Here's how you make things happen. These are things that give consistency and allow us to scale significantly to literally hundreds of incubators and thousands of participating entrepreneurs and startups. We then put that into a digital platform that allows us to both scale and provide consistency and integrity on the program. And then we engage one of the most important factors in this process people can never forget, and that is the mentoring system, the angel investors and mentors in the ecosystem that help guide entrepreneurs through this very difficult journey. And so that ongoing support, the mentoring and the workshops are things that we really deeply engage in. Specifically, this program that we're in the middle of, it consists of several different elements. We have a 12-week intensive session working with the incubator managers and the we call them Sherpas, the guides within those organizations, to learn about all the best practices of the best incubators in the world. We put them into digital playbooks and toolkits that they can use easily and access and customize literally to every single incubator participant. Our program has super mentors. These are people in India who've been there and done that. They've run incubators, they've worked with startups, and they're helping all the incubators, whether they're first-time incubators or incubators that are 4 or 5 years old and are optimizing their capability. They're here every day helping out, working with us all. The platform we talked about, having that access, having industry speakers, having leaders in the industry talk about not just what their best practices are, not what their new learnings are, but they talk about their mistakes. There are times we make mistakes, and we actually feel comfortable enough and trust each other enough to share those. And we actually learn as much from those as other things. And then we have this very, very, very extensive startup curriculum, which we provide to the incubators and accelerators through the platform that lets them teach their entrepreneurs the skills of climbing this very hard mountain of entrepreneurship. So we've taken the art, we've taken the magic, and we think we've brought it down to science. And we put it in a form that allows incubators to be powerful as anybody on the planet and to develop very successful, powerful incubatees, startups, entrepreneurs that can really generate a high level of success and deep integration and development of strong economic and job growth. I want to thank you again for allowing me to interlope in this conversation and in this program and to share my experiences with you. So,
thank you, Dan.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Hello.
There's someone who's not on mute. We'll request everyone to please mute themselves.
Could everybody on mute, please? Dan, thank you so much. That was very, very informative, as well as those slides, capture it all in terms of what we are trying to do and how we are trying to set up world-class incubation management as well as world-class startups. And I think bringing the best of practices and you have worked for 47 years in this area. You have been able to look at various elements of what goes into the success of an entrepreneur and what does not. And I think it is fantastic for everybody to benefit from this combined experience that you and your team bring to the table and being able to execute this program. And that is exactly what we want, to make sure that we have world-class incubators, world-class startups, and every one of you is logged onto this call. I really urge that you make the best utilization of all these programs, the online sessions that are happening, the interactive sessions that are happening, the homework that is given to you, unless you are able to follow it up with a sense of discipline, commitment, and passion on that, you will not realize the benefits. And I do urge everyone who is on this call to be part of that whole exercise. We have been waiting for Sri Amitabh Kant, who is unfortunately caught in a very important meeting so far. Ishita, do we have an idea of, is he able to join right now, or?
We are just checking. I think his previous meeting just got over and he's in the process of trying to get him to log on. In the meantime, what we can do is, Vinay, if you could reshare the presentation, I'll very briefly take 2 minutes of all the participants and just give them our perspective of this partnership and this brilliant program that has been put together by the Wadhwani Foundation Venture Fast Track team, supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Yeah, go ahead, Ishita. Just before you start, Ishita has been working very hard with the team. I want to compliment her and the Atal Innovation Mission team for having taken tremendous amount of interest, effort, and having, I think, countless hours of online sessions with Dan, with his team, with the Wadhwani Foundation, and with Bill and Melinda Gates. So a great job, Ishita, and I want to compliment you and your team for having done that. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. So I was just saying that the program has been custom designed completely in line with NITI Aayog's outcome-driven approach. So for all the incubators that are out there listening to us, please just want to let you know that your progress is being tracked, and whether you're doing your pre-reads, post-reads, and homeworks, we know all of that. It's a very outcome-oriented program, and therefore by the end of this 12 weeks, we hope to get concrete the business plans for the incubators, the program that you're going to deliver to the incubators. They will be frozen, and those will be the outcomes that we hope to achieve out of this entire capacity building program. And of course, this is a very scalable program. So after the pilot with AIM incubators, if you want to replicate this program with other government agencies that support incubators, we'll be extremely happy to provide a support there. And this is something that all of the speakers before me have talked about. This program has been built to empower the AIM incubators. For the first time in the government, the entire portfolio being supported is actually being trained. And not just the incubators, but the first cohort of startups that will join the incubators after the training program is complete with the incubators also get trained. This in some sense changes the norms of support provided by the government to the incubators. We've gone beyond funding, and we are literally holding the incubators in helping them understand and take the process of incubation forward and partner with them in their success. We'll also, the Wadhwani Foundation will also do a global best practices survey and share the findings with every incubator. And after that, uh, all of the incubators shall also be benchmarked against where they stand from the findings of this survey. Of course, there's a wonderful digital platform where all the incubators and all their supported startups will have access to. This is the most scalable part of the training, which enables this training to be very, very sustainable. So even if there is a change in the team of the incubator, the capability to support startups and to help them in becoming investable will still remain with the incubator. So the learning does not go when the team of the incubator changes. That's a beauty of this program. And thanks to the wonderful training that is being provided, led by the main instructor that we have over here, Dan himself, this will empower the incubators to enable the expansion of networks, help them to drive collaboration with the industry, academia, international organizations, because we have a lot of other industry experts who come and speak with the incubators in this program also. And the final next slide, please. The thing that I would like to say is that we had to delay the of this program because we had to redesign the structure thanks to the COVID restrictions. But this had a huge lesson for us, and uh, we had to change this entire program. We took it online. It was otherwise a physical program where we were thinking that all the incubators will come together and join, learn. And now that we've taken this program online, uh, this is also a huge lesson for us in terms of teaching our incubators also how they can bring in flexibility and resilience in the programs. So all our incubators now will need to understand how they should now support their incubators through their incubatees virtually, because most of the startups are not going to come to the incubator physically. That's it from my side. I would thank everyone for being here and logging on today. And hopefully, with our partners of PMGF and Wadhwani Foundation, we hope to make all our startups, the next generation's high-tech startups, to become very, very investable. Thank you, sir. I see that the CEO is just about to join. He's entering the room. And so if you could just wait for another 2 minutes, he'll be logged on.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks, Ishita. And I think your last slide said humbled by coronavirus. I would rather say that stirred but not shaken. And I think the team as well as every one of you responded splendidly to the crisis, and you all pivoted from the original concept of the program being just a physical training and being going to the incubator locations. You turned this COVID-19 into an opportunity for us to be able to deliver an online program and a blended learning program, which will transform itself over the next few months to come. Dr. Shri Amitabh Kant, CEO of NITI Aayog, has joined us. Sir, we are delighted to have you today to launch the AIM iCrest program. This is an incubation capacity enhancement program in order to create a robust ecosystem for creating world-class startups. And we are delighted that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Wadhwani Foundation are partnering, two very esteemed global foundations who are partnering with Atal Innovation Mission to create world-class incubators, fostering world-class startups. And I do want to also share with you that Dr. Romesh Wadhwani shared his video message today, followed by addresses by Menon, who is the CEO of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Ajay Kela from Wadhwani Foundation, who is the representative of it here today, as well as Daniel Krenzler, who is the CEO of Venture Fast Track, that is now an integral part of the Wadhwani Foundation. And we also had Mr. Anjani Bansal, who has been the architect putting together this entire relationship along with Ishita and the team. So this has got off to a splendid start with all our AIM beneficiaries, not just our Atal incubators, the 68 Atal incubators that we already have operational and 1,500 startups which are operational, but also the ACIC beneficiaries and the Atal New India Challenge beneficiaries. And we have inducted 101 mentors of change only for Atal incubators and startups. So all of these are getting the benefit of this world-class program that is going to be executed over the next 3 to 6 months. So with that, I turn it over to you, sir, for your guidance. You have been not only the visionary, but you have been the backbone of the Atal Innovation Mission, supporting us in every little initiative that we have done. And without your support and without the NITI Aayog support and the Vice Chairman support, this would all not have been possible. So over to you, sir.
Mr. Hari Menon, Dr. Wadhwani, Mr. Anjali Bansal, Dr. Kela, Ajay Kela, Mr. Ramanan, the AIM team, distinguished participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be in the midst of all of you. The last decade has witnessed some tremendous changes in the Indian startup and incubator ecosystem. And all this with the strong support of the Government of India, particularly the Prime Minister. As is evident from the fact that about 72% of the incubator accelerator programs are either central or state government supported. I firmly believe that the Indian startup ecosystem has evolved into a truly world-class movement, with India being the third largest global startup ecosystem. NITI Aayog has played and will continue to play the role of a catalyst in taking it several notches higher and higher. With our AIM incubators spread across the length and breadth of the country, we've laid the foundation of a thriving ecosystem of mentors, industry partners, academicians, startups, and incubators. Now we want to empower the incubators teams to be able to nurture next-gen innovation startups that will serve the best interests of our country and make it a dynamic, innovative nation. India has a great opportunity in its inherent innovative mindset to capture global markets while creating disruptive solutions for the challenges within the country. AIM has operationalized close to 70 incubators, 1,500 plus startups, with over 547 women-led startups in just a period of 3 years, which shows the tremendous startup appetite and latent budding, innovative and entrepreneurial talent in India. In order to facilitate an Atmanirbhar ecosystem that is capable of nurturing such disruptive startups, as envisaged by the Prime Minister of India, AIM NITI Aayog is enabling this partnership with two incredible organizations, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Wadhwani Foundation. With both of them, we work very closely in NITI Aayog. I'm delighted to launch the AIM i-CREST program, where i-CREST stands for Incubator Capabilities Enhancement Program, for a robust ecosystem focused on creating high-performing startups. We are positive it will propel our portfolio to become world-class incubators and reach greater heights. To the incubators which are part of this program, I would say think big, think large, think global, think Atmanirbhar Bharat. Make the most of this opportunity. We will work with you hand in hand to make India a powerhouse ecosystem that nurtures innovation and moves the needle on the Global Innovation Index and takes India in the top 25 of the Global Innovation Index. We have recently launched the Mentor of Change program for startups, and now this capacity building for the incubators. We will keep bringing more such initiatives to you in the future. We support you and we wish you all the very best in the coming endeavors of ours to make our startup ecosystem reach its apex globally. And I think we must conquer global heights. We must think globally. On all of this together, we'll work very closely in partnership with all of you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir, for that inspirational address, that the vision that you have laid out. India should make global impact with its incubation ecosystem and with its partners. And all the messages that you have given are very, very inspirational and which will drive us further and help us gain faster momentum in this entire exercise. Thank you so much for launching the i-CREST program. And also thank you for your assurances and support, continued support, which we have of course always enjoyed. And you have been present in almost every incubation training program, enhancement program, and every initiative of Atal Innovation Mission. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we bring to a close this particular event. I thank every one of you for having participated in this event, and all the very best, and looking forward to creating a world-class innovation ecosystem with world-class incubators and world-class startups. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody, for.
Sure.